You have reached your destination.
Yep. And here's part of today's thing. I've got a bunch of uh, little jobs I got to get done to this trailer, but got to get them done. So one of them is the license plate holder with a light, and I believe this appears to be native to an MGA. It came with a whole box of parts I got a long time ago. And what I'm going to do is strip it, treat all the rust, get rid of the rust, and then take this off. Right? Probably cut it about right there, and then weld it to the back with a little relief area here or on the other side, depending on how I frame it. But yeah, so that I can attach that to my to the trailer, and so someone can put a license plate on. So if you want this, reach out. It's all yours. I'm not going to strip it, but you can have it. This I will strip. Yep. Done. I've taken the mount for the light, and I welded it, and a good weld I must say, on the back of this plate. I couldn't get in the corners too well with the de-rustification, so I'll just treat that chemically. But here is the light mount. There is the broken goddamn stud, which I'll replace. That's not tough, because I'm me, you know. And seal's in good shape. I need to buy the glass for it. But, so I'll paint this, coat it liberally with some of that stuff, make it shiny. That's that. Yeah, kind of nice. Not a hood. Yep. Okay, so because 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 I have to work because I'm well have to because I am working alone. Let me start over. Because I work alone, I'm forced to come up with innovative solutions that enable me to work alone. This is it. All right. Let's start here. Between three rafters, I've got a 2x2 length or a 2x2, what do you call it, angle iron. The same thing that I made my frame out of. And they're rated for 3,000 pounds. So across three rafters up in my my attic there, which abut this steel beam, I've got however much this little dinky thing weighs. I bench press more than this this trailer weighs so far. I've got it tied down in there, up and around and through, and back down to a rope. I'm tied to my vise. And the other side of the axle's on my stool, with one side on there. Okay, right now all I'm doing is looking for measurements. Okay, where to place the mounting bracket. That puppy. All right, and once it's in, and I've actually got two sets of these things. Other set is over here, and already painted and ready to go. Right. So I will slowly lower the entire thing. I've got a couple of wooden blocks here as braces. Again, this thing does not weigh much, so if it falls and injures me, I might get a hangnail or something. But yeah, so there's where we are now. There we are now. I'm so proud of myself. And I forgot to mention that I've got all four wheels locked on my casters, and the the ladder here is just to add weight to the rear so it doesn't flip up with the trailer. Oh, God, that cracked me up. All right, so today's not been a great day. I've had better days. I've had better weeks. I'm still coming off of the runner's high of my hood, which means I don't like to run. And I'm a better weightlifter than I am a runner. And I'm putting in the axle. So So far, so good, right? I'm going to notch out that square. Let me see if I can zoom in. I'm going to notch out that by maybe an inch, halfway up, turn the piece I cut out around, and weld it back in. That's part of the drawbar, and it's not structural. So the way that I weld it back in is going to make it strong, and just as strong, just a little bit reversed. Okay, so you'll see how it works out. When I ordered this thing, the guy I ordered it from came back with a couple of questions and some things that impact that. So, and I'd forgotten this, so Mark, it's not your fault. I need to weld in another long piece of 2x2 on each longitudinal side. Again, not a big deal, because God knows I'm an expert welder now. And you can see where this part impacts the frame I've already got. So I'm going to notch that out as well by, and I'll probably go an entire inch. And again, I'll turn it around, and you'll see how I do things. This part doesn't turn, okay? It doesn't flex. It may flex a little bit, but not by a whole hell of a lot. And again, I'm going to give it plenty of clearance. When you start loading up this trailer, the curve that you see here in the center of this bar will begin to uncurve. It'll straighten out. So that's the spring portion. Inside this thing, as far as I can see, are nylon bands and other stuff like that. But again, there's not going to be a whole lot of flex. I'm going to give this thing a lot of flex clearance for that part there. Okay, so what's next? Well, I've measured, remeasured, measured again, stopped for lunch, measured one more time, went to the damn liquor store. God damn it. Hardware store, thank you. And got a couple of more C-clamps, D-clamps, whatever they're called, just to make sure, and then remeasured on and on and on. And I've come up with where I need to weld in the brackets. Okay, I've got a line up in there, right? Everything's positioned where it needs to be positioned. Once I am close to welding in those brackets, I will put it all together, bolt everything together, put it where it needs to be, and then just weld the dog snot out of everything, I think. Yeah. So the other option I had for mounting, you can see where I've got a couple of holes that I had drilled in there so I could adjust as needed, which was not needed, is this. This is what you're looking at when I show you the top piece. Okay, I bought an extra kit. I don't know why, I don't need it, but that's okay. I'm glad to have the spare. Actually, let me see something here. I'm going to pause for a sec. Okay, so I was looking at my other mounting bracket, which is on now. You can see where it abuts that piece. And I've got, what, 1/4 of an inch in there? Maybe a bit more. I could legitimately shape it by cutting some off so that I've got more of an overhang. Or, I'm sorry, less of an overhang, and it fits flush up against the piece. I'm going to pause again and show you the difference of the two pieces together. And there they blow. One is a little longer, well, taller in this plane than the other. The other one fits like it should. And this one's also a little bit, well, I guess it's just about the same this way. No, I'm not going to fiddle with this. Half-baked solution, I don't want to do that. Because I would have to cut out something like this. Well, how do I do that when I've already got this? All right, that's the decision. Shit. Okay, this is the notched out piece. I've got some trimming to do, but this is more or less how it's going to go. I'm also going to weld in end caps so that when I take it all down, it's got end caps. It's all about end caps. That's what I'm talking about, end caps. I am, for some reason, not sore today. I've been up and down and crawling and moving and contortioning and so forth. I've had this this thing fall on me a little bit. That's okay. I've got that done, as well as this and this welded in. And again, I've welded it on each end, plus top there, and over in there, and over in there, and here, and bottom. For added strength everywhere. I'm going to notch out the sides where I need to notch them. I've already made a couple marks. Then I think I'm gonna wrap it up and take a shower because I want to. Yeah. What did I want to point out? It doesn't matter now. Forget. Oh yeah. Prior to painting the innards, I'm going to fill that little V gap in with JB Weld. I don't want a water pocket, water catchment basin, and I'll do the same thing for the bottom for the same reason. I'm trying to keep this thing as rust-free and as waterproof and as water-resistant and so forth as possible. I don't know if it's inevitable, but I would assume that water would eventually get into a pocket somewhere if I don't treat this with, you know, a little bit of worry. So perhaps a little extra worry. Not that I need it, but again, I want this thing as neutrally rust resistant as I can possibly get it. So here comes the notching. I've already drilled 2 holes, more notching, and off we go. Christ almighty, you have no idea how hurt I am to have to look at this, but all right, so like what I did there, I've notched this part of the frame. This is a technique I actually learned from gassers, hot rodders, guys that do their own frame changes to clear exhaust manifolds or intakes or something like that on their Mopar-powered, Chevy-powered, Ford-powered 1930s. Ooh, it's still warm. 1930s something, right? A little bit of a bump there too. So typically what you take out, you turn around and then weld in, which is more or less what I did, right? I got a couple of perhaps not great looking welds there, but I ground them down. And again, I'm going to seal all of this stuff off, seam sealer or JB Weld, so that it doesn't leak or allow water in. And I'm going to paint everything. So the structural stability of this thing is still there. I've got the other piece behind it. And I have welded that piece a whole bunch of different ways. I'm now at a weld gas, so I'm done for the night. Oh, you can see, let's see, where is it? I welded some in there. I need to clear out, make it look nicer. And I did a whole bunch on the other side on top, that is, as well. So it looks a little hairy in there. It's not. It's just the way that the, I can wipe some of that away, yeah. So I need to do the same thing on the other side. I'll do that tomorrow. It takes longer than I thought, you know, and I'm going carefully and slowly, so it's not a quick process, but God, dog, I just hate doing it. Oh, it hurts my feelings to see all that hard work go down. And pause. This is how it looks from top, all right? Here's where I put a whole bunch more weld in there, as well as there. Ground that down a little bit so it looks a little bit flush. And I'm going to fill all that with seam sealer again so water can't penetrate in there. Hurts my feelings, but had to be done. Especially with not putting in leaf springs and that kind of stuff with this thing. I mean, the torsion arm is a nice little nice little invention. Independent. It turns into independent suspension. So, yep. Oh, yeah. Yep. So this is what the other one is ready to be done. And it's going to be the same thing. Cut, weld, and be done with it. Yeah, I tell you, this one was a bitch. I'm working on it since about 5, and it's already almost 9, so I've got the got it ready to go. Obviously, duh, I gotta stop saying that. I'm not 9-ish. So I've got this welded back in, front and back and sides and bottom and everything else. It looks pretty and it's shiny and on and on and on. Got the axle ready to go. Again, because it's almost 9, I need to shower and get myself ready for work. So once this is placed up, i.e. where I want it to be, and I've got it ready to go, I'm going to mark out where the plates go. You can see that I've ground off all of the paint I had on there before on the edges so I can get a good clean weld. I'm going to weld here, right? And then in here and within in here. Again, once it's placed, I'm going to take it off and weld it without this hanging on to it, because it's going to be just a dead weight that I don't need on both sides. So I'll be doing that tomorrow. You have no idea. You can't have any idea how thrilled I am that this is finished. I'll build the boxes around these things tomorrow. I'm going to take a, I think, well-earned rest off. I'm going to Zorch this off an inch or 2 or so above. This thing won't go up more than 3 inches, so I'm safe doing there. Oops. Here's how it looks under here. Yeah. Look at that. Everything is bolted in, but not tied down. I don't have it tightened, so I'll do that here a little bit later. I am thrilled, actually, at how the measurements came out on both sides. So just about halfway through the pivot arm is where the end of the old frame rail is. Same on the other side. And you can see that I've already started to kind of fill in some of this, some of the gutter here. Wow, it's already cured with JB Weld. Again, it's not for strength. It's just to keep water from getting in that V and sitting in there. I'm going to paint everything in here anyway, so yep, there she blows. I'll be doing the same box out thing on both sides. And I am going to make myself a martini and post this video finally. You may congratulate me if you wish.